first ever YouTube video. I am nervous but excited at the same time, so please bear with. I am Olivia, also known as Olivia T. Platt on TikTok, and I thought, why not introduce my life on YouTube and start this up. So today is going to be like a little introduction of my journey and what I've done so far and how I've come this far. So may not be interested. This is my first video, so let's get on with the video. So the big question is, how did I get pregnant at 15? Yes, I got pregnant at 15. So, I was with my boyfriend, my partner at the time, for 3 months, and I fell pregnant. I was on holiday and I kind of noticed that these were hurting and my mood swings were absolutely horrendous. So I went and checked. The day before, I took a day off school and went and checked if I was pregnant or not. Bearing in mind, I was on the pill at this point, so I thought, nah, not me, I can't be pregnant, I'm on the pill. Thinking that obviously being on contraception does automatically work. So I went downtown and I got a pregnancy test and I did it, and I never thought anything of it because for me it's like 2 solid lines are a positive and 1 solid lines are a negative. Line. So at the time it came up with 1 really solid line, like bam shabam, 1 solid line, and then there was a really faint line, but I didn't think anything of it because, you know, Liv doesn't think. So I went and told my best friend, like, look, I've went and done a pregnancy test, it's come back negative, it's alright, not pregnant, phew. And she said, well, why is there a faint line there? Like, what does that mean? So I was like, what does that mean? Like, that, what? So I looked it up and it basically said, you could be pregnant, yeah, it's just not enough levels of something like a pregnancy hormone in your body yet. So I was like, oh no. So I went to the school the next day, so I took a day off school, then I went the next day and I took my pregnancy test in, and mine was one of them, you know, them little £1 ones, the literal stick ones. So I was like, maybe it's just like wrong because they're just cheap ones. So I went and told my pastoral manager, the one that was head of our year, so looked after our year, and she said to me, you need to get yourself over to Youth Centre like now. Youth Centre is where they do them, so if you have any problems with anything, you just go over to the Youth Centre and they'll sort you right out. So I went over to the Youth Centre and they sat me down and, you know, like to talk about it and that. And then I did the pregnancy test, and that was the more expensive one. It came shebang, 2 solid lines, and I was like, oh no, I'm 15. I know. So they sat me down again afterwards because they thought, nah, she's not pregnant. So they sat me down afterwards and they basically said, like, weighing up my options, like, there's obviously abortion and there's keeping him, there's adoption, there's lots of different ways. So we had to speak about it all, and then they basically said at the end of it, right, okay, sometime now you can go home, but you have to tell your mum, or we'll tell your mum tomorrow. So I was like, what? So I thought, oh, this is now or never. I don't want my mum to find out from some teacher that I'm pregnant at 15, do you know what I mean? So I went upstairs after I got home and I went and told my sister, and my sister is 2 years younger than me, so we're really close. And she was like, no, you're not, Liv, you're not. Like, no, you're not, Liv. So I was like, well, yeah, I am. Like, I was crying about it. So I was upset about it because I was scared to tell my mum and dad. And I was also scared to tell my grandparents because I am really close to my grandparents. But they're very, like, old school. So, you know, it didn't really happen in that time very much. So I was like, oh no. So I told my sister, and at the time I was telling her and explaining, yeah, look, I am pregnant, it's not a lie. My mum was walking upstairs. So it kind of came out, instead of me telling her, it kind of came out as she overheard, and she was like, Olivia, are you pregnant? And I was like, yeah, mum, I am. I was crying my eyes out, I was hysterical. I was stuffing my face at the time because chocolate was a craving, and I got all my cravings and all my symptoms really early on. So it was a nightmare, basically. The whole day was a nightmare. And then we had sat down, all of us, and decided to talk about things. And I ended up telling my partner down the alleyway of where I live, because at the time we lived separate. So I lived literally here and he lived literally like here. So it was like 1 street. So yeah, I said, right, meet me here, because at the time he had worked as well. So I was still at school, but he had worked. So I was like, right, can we do this? Like, I told him, and he, I think he kind of guessed it. You know, me saying, right, can I meet me anyway? So once I had told him, we were weighing up our options too, and my mum had said that she'd support me no matter what. My grandparents weren't actually really that bad about it. They said they would support me, and when I told my partner, he said, look, I'm going to be with you all the way, let's do this together. So I knew in my head that yes, maybe I am young, yes, maybe I am still going to school, and yes, maybe I'm still a child, so it really doesn't look good, but yes, I can provide for my child, and I can give him or her a stable life. So there was no question about it. My partner was on board, my whole family were on board. I was like, right, you know, I'm keeping him, well, or her. I mean, now we know it's a him, but at the time it was a him or her. So I was like, right, I'm keeping this baby. So me and my partner went and we told my family what we were doing, and they were very supportive. And it kind of grew from there, really. We had to tell his parents and my parents. They both came together, they spoke about things, and it was all really good from there. And we thought, you know, this is our family now. It's kind of like how I got pregnant and how it started, and I went through my whole pregnancy. Don't want to kind of say too much about pregnancy, as I'm going to do a separate video with that. Everything that you need to know, do's and don'ts, etc. So yeah, that will be coming up for you. But yeah, my pregnancy, it was touch and go, and the birth was touch and go, but I will explain more in the videos. So this is kind of about how, like, really I got pregnant and my journey when I was 15. Now, going on 17, I have my own house. My partner has a really good job. Oscar is nearly 2. We had a boy and he's called Oscar. Oscar Evans. So yeah, he's 2 nearly in Feb. And I'm a stay-at-home mum at the moment. I was going to college, however, we didn't have no childcare. I got all my GCSEs, I did what I needed to complete, and I am very proud of Oscar, I'm very proud of my partner, and I am very proud of myself for how much we've all achieved. But yeah, this is a little bit about me and my life. There will be lots more for you, so comment down below what you would like to see next. I hope I haven't bored you for the whole however many minutes I've been speaking. Yeah, just a little insight, but thank you for watching, and I will see you all later.